Welcome to Tower Talk Business Radio on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC. Tower Talk Business Radio brings you conversations with the top business minds on Long Island and around the nation, including expert consultants and small business owners who have found success, but are also willing to share their top tips, failures, and give gritty, matter-of-fact advice based on their first-hand experience. And now, let's get down to business with Tower Talk Business Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation.
Hello and welcome to Tower Talk Business Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Ray Schwetz, AVP of Nephew Business Banking, along with Donyshia Boston-Hill, CEO, keeper of the brand marketing and digital agency, and we're focused on being the premier resource for business and entrepreneurship.
We bring you weekly business tips, tools, advice, and services that help you grow your business. Plus, we interview the top business leaders in the industry. Hey, Ray, good to be back.
Good to see you.
Oh, my
God. Good to have you back.
I feel like life is just a blur with business. I'm running, trying to make sure I stay healthy and cool.
You wear many hats.
We do, right?
Yes.
And what's so crazy is I attended an event with Vivica Fox.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, my gosh, Vivica Fox. Ooh, la la.
Yeah.
And
Kill Bill.
I know. She has really been out there and acting, and it's really in a lot of movies. And, so I go back home and, I'm saying to my family, let me just disconnect. Take some time to hang out with the kids and hang out with hubby. And my daughter, she says to me, Mommy, I'm moving to California to become a superstar. A triple threat. She's only 4. What is going on?
Nice.
So I said, okay. And she's going to Paris. So I said, I think we better get you in some acting lessons and theater lessons really quick. Because at 4, you have these aspirational dreams. So
Yes.
I don't know where she got it from.
I think I know.
But
yes. It's from a very glamorous mom and dad.
Ooh.
Yes. We wear many roles in life, and it's a juggling act. And I think we have some guests here who they've also filled many roles.
Nice.
Do you like that segue? That was pretty cool. Helping provide us with business empowerment today are people who have filled many roles figuratively and literally. Our guest today is Joe Rubino of Theater of Outer Bounds and Jesse Lyons. Jesse, what's your title?
I'm the Assistant Technical Director at Theater Out of Bounds.
So he's the guy that if they don't have him around, they don't have any stuff going on technically, so, they need him around as well. Now, Joe,
that's right.
There you go. I'm a behind-the-scenes guy, so I kind of like that stuff. So Joe is a Long Island and New York City-based actor. He's a director and partner in Theater Out of Bounds, which is bringing daring theatrical programming to the island under his direction, including programs like The Nether by Jennifer Haley and Bug by Tracy Letts. He's also proud to be presenting his popular stage adaptation of this cult classic, and DB, I'm going to love this.
I know you are.
The cult classic, Night of the Living Dead, for the third time in 5 years. Previously, he was co-founding managing director and producer of Blue Box Theater Company. He is currently the technical director of Studio Theater Long Island. He is also an alumni, as is Jesse, of Nassau Community College. Joe studied the Meisner technique, right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, that's what he pretty much specialized in.
Yes. Now, under Victor, and I'm going to say his name wrong.
Victor Abravaya. Shout out to Victor out there.
Victor was awesome. And the thing that's kind of funny is Joe and I talked about this when we met. I had the same acting professor when I was here at Nassau Community College.
Yeah.
In 1980. And although he's a leader at Theater Out of Bounds, he recognizes the immeasurable contributions of his cast, his crews, working so hard on every level to bring their complex and exciting programs to life. So and it's cool that we have Jesse here, and he can talk a little bit about that as well.
I would love to.
Yes. So tell us a little bit how you got started as an actor and getting into plays.
Believe it or not, in high school, I was in the stage crew, but I wasn't as much into plays or acting just yet. I loved film, and I definitely wanted to try and be a filmmaker. And then I actually attended here and just decided to study acting and major in acting, and why not try it? And And then I learned from Victor and Bob and Pete Fox and the entire staff, and kind of just fell in love with it from there.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Jesse?
Gosh, my first experience with theater, I think I was in 5th grade. We were doing Annie, and I played the guy who sings NYC, the city guy.
Oh, that's so cool.
And you know what? And I was so nervous. And I was like, I can't do it. I dropped out, and then I played the police officer. But then after that, I made sure I was like, I'm gonna be in the play every single year until high school, college. So I did throughout college. Did it at Nassau. Met Joe through friends at Nassau, and I really enjoyed my time, doing theater here. And I'm still carrying it over into today. So.
Oh, very cool.
Good stuff. That Annie says something about being an orphan. Right?
Yes.
Brings you together. Now, tell us, how do you get started in stage production?
Like in a singular stage production, like what's the first steps?
What was your inspiration?
What's involved?
What inspired you to say, you know what, I'm going to open a theater company and
Oh, yeah. That was a decision that I really wanted to make. When we were about 22 years old, all of us, we're all friends. We all met actually through the theater department here. Yep. And I think it was pretty much one day when I was about 21, 22, where I recognized the fact that, we were all very talented. We were all actors. That's what we shared in common. But we all had these other things to bring to the table: graphic design, tech work, the whole 9 yards when it comes to that. And why weren't we doing our own thing? Why weren't we getting together and starting to make our own stuff? So I guess that's when we came together and started the first thing out in Port Jefferson, Blue Box Theater Company, and then. I don't think I've really stopped producing shows since then.
Oh, that's cool. Now tell us about your partnerships, because your Theater Out of Bounds is kind of like I don't know if I'm using the right word for it, like a subset of and am I calling it a studio or a stage production company or?
No, well, Theater Out of Bounds, yeah, it's technically a department of Studio Theater Long Island.
Okay.
What you said sounds pretty good, though.
Yeah.
All right, you could take that.
It's all under the veil of studio theater. David Dubin is the artistic director there. He's actually our boss as well.
Shout out to Dave Dubin.
Okay. We'll say nice things about Dave.
Mr. Dubin.
Yeah. He gives us a lot of opportunity there. He gives us a lot of chance to do what we want to do there, which is really cool.
Yeah, a lot of leeway, a lot of room to explore our creativity and whatever stories we like to tell. David's always on board with all that, and it's really good to have that.
Definitely.
You are listening to Tower Talk Business Radio on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC. I'm Ray Schwetz, and our guest today is Joe Rubino of Theater Out of Bounds, and also Jesse Lyons, Technical Director, correct?
Assistant Technical Director.
I'm going to get it right before the end of the show.
Hey, it's all right. I'll take Assistant Technical Director right up.
We all wear many hats there anyway. So
oh, yes.
Titles are just titles in the end of the day.
Yes.
We're all buddies.
Well, it's a lot like that. I'm sure on the business side, it's a lot like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely.
Can you tell us a little bit about the business side on that, on how things work with Theater Out of Bounds?
Okay, so with us, there's actually a board involved. Mm-hmm. We have my partner and co-artistic director, Scott Johnston. What's up, Scott? And then as company members, we have our friends Nikki Silva and Andrew Beck, who pretty much help us with daily operations, just making us remain relevant, whether that's marketing, presence on social media, and just picking out the plays that we are going to do that are going to stick true to our mission statement.
Now, what is your biggest challenge on the business side? Because I would think, I know I was very interested in film when I was a student here as well, and there's so many people tell you, don't do it, because you're never going to be able to support yourself and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I mean, to me, there's a business aspect of it, and I think you guys are really doing a great job with the programming and all that to get people, into the seats and so forth. And I know when I was reading on the website some of the programs, it's all very impressive. I'm a genre fan, so for me in particular, but there seems to be a lot of counter programming, so it seems to be a lot of thought on that side. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, so basically, I'm sorry. I think I misunderstood the question a little bit.
No, that's all right. I think you're going from the business. Now, how do you get the people into the seats? And then how are you, I guess maybe a better way to ask it is to say to you, how do you differentiate yourself? Which I answered the question by saying counter programming, but I think there's a lot of thought that goes into that. And tell us about that, because I think that feeds into the business side, if I'm not mistaken. Those decisions.
Definitely.
Yeah.
With us, it's basically pick up the slack wherever it needs to be picked up at the time.
Okay.
We all designated jobs for each other to do, but really, it sometimes it's so chaotic, especially when you're in a tech week of a show, that it's like, just start moving. Wherever they need help right now, just help them out. Also on that end, getting butts in seats is always the hard part, and I think picking our shows takes a big role in that.
Well, I think what Joe always tries to do, and everybody at Theater Out of Bounds, we try to bring shows, because theater, it's hard to get butts in seats with local theater. It's the reality of it,
Right.
We all love theater so much, and to bring that love into other people and have them just as excited about it as we are. Joe and Scott are trying to bring shows that push the boundaries, hence Theater Out of Bounds, that make people be like, oh, I don't really go to theater, but I love Night of the Living Dead. Oh, cool. Yeah. That thing is what kind of attracts people to what we're doing, and that's kind of what sets us apart.
So you're basically trying to you're putting a twist on your programming to bring people into the seats.
Definitely. I think the challenge of theater, which is considered always this dying art form, the challenge of that being the case, that it is hard to get people to come and enjoy this, is what excites me about it. And what I want to do is I want to show people again that these live, intimate stories right in front of you are so much more interesting, at least to me, than maybe sitting down on your couch and watching a Netflix series. I love actually going to a space and the performers are right there in front of me, and you could feel it kind of empathically. You could feel what they're feeling on stage, and that's always been really nice, really beautiful to me. So if I can make that kind of relevant, especially to the younger generations, and kind of fuel a new love for theater to them, and give them a reason to, by the certain shows we pick or whatever the content is, then that would be great. That's one of my dreams, I would say.
Yeah.
Now, do you also take and go out of the theater? Do you go into the community or on the road, so to speak?
We're trying to do more and more of that as the years go by. Joe's only been at how many years now doing Theater Out of Bounds?
Theater Out of Bounds only for about, we started our first production in February, so almost a year.
Okay. Cool.
And it's a growing thing. We're learning our market. We're learning what the people want, and we're realizing that guerrilla marketing, going out, flyering, talking to people, being in character maybe for a show, just trying to reach out in that certain ways. We've been trying to do more because ads on the internet, on Facebook are really good, but there's something about a human interaction when you go out and try and reach out to the community that you're trying to entertain. It's it makes it a little bit better.
Also, the theater community in Long Island in general is very tight knit.
Yeah.
So, definitely, I've friends who run other theater companies on the island, and we try to kind of stick together in that sense. If we get the chance to cross promote each other, if we can work in, my friends over at the Carriage House Players, shout out to them. I work with them a lot too. They're friends of mine. Same thing with Long Island Theater Collective. They're all really good friends of mine. So I've done productions with them. They've done productions with us, and we try to help each other out as much as possible.
You are listening to Tower Talk Business Radio. Our guest today is Joe Rubino and Jesse Lyons of the Theater Out of Bounds.
We first opened about 10 years ago. We were small, just a few of us, but it was exciting. I always dreamt of having my own business. It was kind of slow at first, but things started picking up. We had big plans. But in our wildest dreams, we never thought we'd have this much work. Yeah, with so many businesses caught off guard by the storm, Reed Waste Management has never been busier.
What will become of your business after a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency, and 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now, before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
And welcome back to Tower Talk Business Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Donyshia Boston-Hill, and our guests today are Joe Rubino and Jesse Lyons of Theater Out of Bounds.
Hello.
Hey.
I just love to say that, out of bounds.
Pushing the boundaries.
Yes.
So, hey, guys, so you said, you just started Theater Out of Bounds, really up and running in February.
Yeah.
So, just being an entrepreneur and coming from that perspective, what are some of your days like? What are some of your challenges? And how do you work together as a team to keep pushing forward?
Basically, we try to keep deadlines to what we need for everything, and like I said, that's on a marketing level and a production level. They go hand in hand.
Yeah,
you can have a great production, but if you didn't really focus on your marketing, then who's going to come to it? And you can focus on your marketing and not focus on your production as well. And then if you market it to everybody and they came and see and it's a bad show, then people are going to talk about that forever. So day to day is basically whatever is the most immediate. What priorities, basically. You prioritize certain tasks. These are like the immediate priority. We need to get this ad out. We need to make sure we secure this piece, that we order it so that we have it for the set. That's a lot of the pre-planning work that goes into before Tech Week, so that Tech Week we're not, where it's already chaotic, we're not, losing our minds trying to go out and find stuff at stores that we could have ordered weeks ago, So
are you building everything in-house, or are you doing a combination of both, as far as your set?
Oh, building everything in-house.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Everything from scratch.
Oh, yeah. Everything. Yeah. And also, to answer your question about, how we get it done, workflow and all that stuff, it's good. Like we said before, it's great that we're all friends, and we're all willing to. It's a not-for-profit studio theater that we do all of our stuff at. So we have a lot of volunteer work, a lot of people helping out, and being friends makes that go so much quicker. And it streamlines a lot, and it doesn't feel like work at a certain point. And we're always shocked at how much we get done in such a short period of time. Like our turnover right now for the set of Night of the Living Dead, we have a show ending Sunday, and then we have to have the set ready by that Thursday, built completely for Night of the Living Dead, and we got a lot, and we're gonna make it. We're gonna do it because there's a understanding between all of us, just being friends and having such a love for what we're doing.
Just get it done.
Exactly.
It helps even when we do want to get at each other's throats because it's been the stress definitely gets to you.
Yeah.
But it's good in the end, because if that happens and 20 minutes later we're like, that was stupid, let's keep going.
Yeah. Well, it's like any other partnership. It's like the Rolling Stones with Keith Richards and Mick Jagger and and creative. But here's the thing, kudos to you guys for figuring out some of the stuff that I think nonprofits, businesses have trouble with, and it's collaboration. Sometimes people are afraid to collaborate with one another because they're afraid, I'm going to lose my events, I'm going to do this. But really, that community, that networking is so key to success. So kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
You're doing a great job with that.
Yeah.
And I think the programming idea is fantastic. For me, what I think is very interesting is when you see something as a film and then you see it as a play or vice versa, like Bug, for example. It's a great movie, William Friedkin, but it's as a play, it seems so much more dangerous. It's right there. It's live. It's happening.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's got to be pretty fantastic to do something like Night of the Living Dead. What other projects are you thinking about? Are there any wish lists that I want to do this?
Oh man,
I'm sure there's a list.
Obviously, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm kind of a thriller head. I like a lot of sci-fi, a lot of horror. But that's what's cool about the combination. I don't want to give anything away for our next season.
No secret sauce.
Oh, yeah.
But,
No secret sauce.
Just wish list.
But we do have another show after Night of the Living Dead in January. I actually don't think I could say the title.
Okay, so don't say.
But, look us up on Facebook and you can find out. But it's really cool because that's kind of my style. And then, some of the other directors that we have on board, their styles are different. So then the shows that we end up picking, there's this nice array of different stuff. Like, you'll have Bug, The Flick, and then Hedwig and the Angry Inch. And that was last season. It was versatile, but also still sticking to our main goal, our mission statement, like we say. Sorry, I think I got off track right there.
No.
Yeah,
that's the fun part of it, right? Coming up with what are you going to produce? What are you going to put on stage?
Yeah.
And how do you guys collectively make your final decision on? Okay, this is just production.
Yeah. Well, Joe, like Joe said, there's a board. People, we all talk about productions that we all think people have never seen before, or we think that are a little bit more pushing the envelope for our normal subscribers or a theater audience in general. Now I lost my train of thought.
A lot. We shoot for modern works, Long Island premieres, things that will relate to a generation that doesn't just automatically go to the theater. Bug wasn't exactly brand new, but Bug has that kind of shock value that we know that works in our area. Yeah.
One of our directors and somebody at Theater Out of Bounds has been. I don't think it's ever going to happen with rights and everything, but the kind of stories, like a good example, like you said, Wish List. He's been dying to want to put on a stage version of Reservoir Dogs, and I thought that would be incredible, perfect for Theater Out of Bounds. That's the kind of stuff we want to try, almost like action movies. Like action movies, anything that's you would never see on a stage. Horror. The challenge and thrill of trying to scare somebody who's already looking at a stage. They know everything's happening right there. So how are you going to amp it up to scare them? Put zombies in the crowd. That's the challenge, and that's what's exciting about.
You are listening to Tower Talk Business Radio on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC. My name is Ray Schwetz with my co-host Donyshia Boston-Hill, CEO, keeper of the brand marketing digital agency, and our guest today is Joe Rubino of Theater Out of Bounds and Jesse Lyons, assistant technical director. See, I told you I get it right by the end of the show.
Yes, you did it right.
Yay, finally. Now, what I imagine that there's partners out there in the business community or in the community at large that you're looking to make. So could you tell our audience a little bit about what kind of partnerships you're looking for, like sponsorships or other businesses to work with or community? Anything?
Fundraising is always a big thing for us. So we're definitely going to start trying to work in a little bit of advertisement space in our playbills. Once we develop that following that I think people can trust, that when they come in, they can look at and they're going to look at their playbill and their business will be seen. We're working a lot right now with Sidelines, which is a Sidelines Cafe, which is a bar in Lindenhurst. We're having our Halloween night performance at 7 p.m. of Night of the Living Dead is going to have a costume party, after party over at Sidelines. Nice. With drink specials and apps. That kind of stuff gives a little more incentive. Yeah. So working with other businesses is definitely important to me. And then, like I said, we work with other business theater companies in the community as well, just to stick together.
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea because partnering up with some of restaurants, bars, other things in the entertainment industry, video. One of the things that I was going to suggest, and you've probably already done it, but I saw I wanted to see a stage production of Evil Dead, and there was a video drop.
Oh yeah.
There was a video drop that I saw of the production, and to me, that was I got to see this.
I want to do that show so bad.
Yes.
I want a splash zone. That's the one thing I tried to shoot it for Night of the Living Dead. Joe's like, no splash zone. It's a story about people in a house. Calm down. I'm like, come on, let's have a splash zone.
Yes, that would be a lot of fun.
Night of the Living Dead, the way it's done, doesn't really cater to that as much.
No.
But Evil Dead, oh my God.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not only would I want to do Evil Dead, I'd want to play. I want to be the technical director, the guy who plays the moose head and all the other characters and the hand.
Oh my goodness.
Because that looks like so much fun, mixing my technical experience and my acting experience together into one. But that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Evil Dead is definitely something on the list that I'm going to produce one day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But that's one of the things I would, if you haven't done it already, my one thing I would suggest, to me, it would move me into, I want to see this too, I have to see it, is just seeing like a clip of the show. Because it's, I would imagine, so powerful to have that. Do you already have that, or is that something you might want to work on?
No, I just wanted to say I love that. Like, I think that's a great attitude to have of taking it from I want to see this to I have to see this.
Yes.
And that's kind of like, I just wanted to point out that I love that a lot.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And that's what we're shooting for.
Actually, that was like my inspiration behind some of my inspiration. Besides, obviously loving the movie and knowing I could adapt it, but with Night of the Living Dead, I was like, here's something that can marry two types of demographics. It can marry theater goers and cult horror fans. You know, something that I could bring to life on stage and won't just have theater goers come, and then we'll have people that have never. This might be the first play they've ever seen, and it was just because it was Night of the Living Dead, and they love that movie. And they love horror. They love zombies. You know, zombies are huge right now. Like, so obviously, that was a lot of the basis of like, let me adapt this so it can bring together different types of people with different types of taste.
Cool. What's the one thing you'd like to leave our listeners with, and how can they find you guys?
Which one should I answer first?
Well, what's the one thing you want to leave with us?
Yeah.
Well, you can find us at StudioTheaterLongIsland.com. You can check out Theater Out of Bounds.
StudioTheaterLI.com.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm plugging the wrong website. Theater Out of Bounds on Instagram, just Theater Out of Bounds. So also that. And Joe, what would you like to leave everyone with?
Well, also Studio Theater Long Island on Facebook. Definitely check out all the ads. We got some really cool promotions going on for Night of the Living Dead. I think you'll have fun. What do I want to leave my audience with? If you're about the age when I started right now, trying to produce my own stuff, it gets hard. There are really stressful days, but if you really truly do have a passion for telling stories and you really truly do love what you're doing right now, no matter how hard it gets, just keep pushing through, and you'll have some failures along the way, but above all, you'll be doing what you love, and a lot of people can't say that. So just keep fighting through it, and you'll have that success one day that keeps on going.
Support the arts, support local theater, support creative people. That's what I
agree
want to say.
completely. Now, this is normally the part of the show where we have DB's philosophy, where we talk about things that are inspirational, and I'm
passing the torch today.
I'm being a little bit of a hog, and thank you very much for encouraging or allowing me to do that, DB. I'd like to leave you with a quote from the film adaptation of Bug. I'm not sure if it's in the play.
It's in the play.
I
saw it on the, yeah.
Yeah, it's my favorite line, and it's where one of the characters says, "You have a center, right? A place inside you that's just you, that hasn't been spoiled. And I think it's really important to try and keep that space sacred." Yes. And I think you guys, it sums up a lot of who you are. Go ahead. One more thing?
Yeah, just one last thing. Night of the Living Dead live on stage opens October 27th. Friday, October 26th, we're having a very special zombie party fundraiser with games, contests, drinks, bands, and comedy. And then Night of the Living Dead runs for 2 weekends, and there's a special performance on Halloween night at 7 p.m.
Very cool. We want to thank you for being with us. Guys, you're great guests. We really appreciate it. My name is Ray Schwetz, along with Donyshia Boston-Hill, your co-hosts and producers. The creative director of Tower Talk Business Radio is Rudy Breedy. This is an NCC Foundation Business Leaders Council production. Visit ncc.edu/WHPC for more information. Available as a podcast on iTunes, Android Podcast, and Spreaker. This has been Tower Talk Business Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. We'll talk with you next week.